Familiar sound? It most certainly would be for anyone who grew up on the edge of an unspoilt Zululand lagoon. People like Sakamusi uThungulu and Junior Gabela. The uThungulu Nature Reserve was their playground. They might not have known it at the time, but the birds that shared their space here were going to provide them an opportunity, a livelihood. Sakamusi is an old hand now. Much of his energy is spent on teaching, encouraging and marketing the guides he recruits in South Africa. uThungulu Nature Reserve has been the entry point of many a Zululand birding guide and birders alike. Protected and managed by Ilembe KZN Wildlife, this gem of a lagoon has been saved from the unsightly development now common along the KwaZulu-Natal north coast.
I remember one of the days when I was walking outside the reserve, I saw guys like Sakamusi. At that time I was not started birding, anything like birding, so I was still schooling. So I saw Sakamusi driving with the tourists outside coming to uThungulu. Then I said, what are these people they're going to do there with binoculars? So when I started my course here at uThungulu with birding course, actually, I was paying more interest looking those people. Actually, Sakamusi was the real model.
The Zululand Birding Route has a champion in Duncan Pritchard, and the guides are pivotal to its success.
You can teach anybody to identify a bird. I think, passion for those birds is important. You need to just be a little bit more than just wanting to show people birds. You actually, you need to go out and find out, spend time in the field, finding where things are, dealing with birders. You need patience. So those people skills are critical. Yeah, I think with a lot of the birding routes, you need that initial seed funding to get going, the money to train the guides, the money to get the marketing materials off the ground. But they've reached, after 4 years, you reach a level of sustainability. We're actually bringing in your own income. We've tapped into sort of the local government networks very, very effectively. We've had phenomenal support from the municipalities here. I've actually been blown away how keen the guys have got on birding and tourism, and the amount of money and effort that's been put in.
This is Klinza, a forest set inside the country town of Eshawe. An aerial boardwalk specifically constructed for birdwatching has boosted tourism.
What's the size of this? Size? 37 by 100.
It's also served as a place of learning for the guides. Sakamusi cut his teeth here.
Zululand Birding Route is about 70 different spots, but you've got these key attractions, and I think that's another important success factor. You've got something like the boardwalk in Linza Forest that's very marketable. It's a product. It's something that the guides can actually attach themselves to. And a similar thing, with Municipality or Mkuzi Game Reserve, or the Southern Sanctuary in Richards Bay. You've got these sort of key attractions, and then from there, if people are visiting Linza, that's the key node that's brought them to the area, and then they can go off to places like uThungulu, to Entumeni, to uThungulu Forest. So you've actually you pull in the market with these real flagship sort of attractions, and then from there, you can get them into newer areas.
One of the newer areas is the Nseleni River. It's close to Richards Bay and has recently been cleared of water hyacinth by Conservancy members. The Nseleni Nature Reserve is small, but its bird count is phenomenal. Bird guiding here is facilitated by the Conservancy and honorary rangers, mostly during weekends.
As a guide, it's difficult if people want to see the pet and then you don't find the pet. But here you know for sure that your clients will behave because they're going to see what they want to see, which is the film footage, which is special for here. So I also get help going home knowing that I made their day. When you're using the trails, it's difficult to get all those pets because the reeds and the trees there, they block the view. But on the boat, it's easy to get the pet just like that.
This trip did yield the elusive finfoot, at a distance. The Zululand Birding Route's flagship special bird is the Ngoya Forest's famous green barbet. Its habitat is protected.
We've got an opportunity here to actually give birds direct economic value. And I think for a lot of the younger guides who are just coming to the system, it is very financially motivated. You've been out of school for a few years, you're desperate to get your sort of career established. But you've got guys for 2-3 years in the system, you can actually see that real love and passion coming through.
Oh, it's lovely.
This is the new road to the Ngoya Forest. But there's a hiccup today. The aim here is to find the green barbet. The local guides will deliver. They've promised.
The day I saw it, I became shaking, because it was a long time willing to see that bird. It was a long time. And the tourists, if you give them that bird, maybe you get more paid. It should become a gold barbet. I can give it its name, gold barbet, not a green barbet.
An early bird catches the worm, they say. This time we take the old road.
Is that the fence?
The guides have walked in from their homes below the forest. Mbongaseni guarantees a sighting. Resources are at stake here. You could say there's money on this bird.
I can make it sound. Then the green barbet responds. It responds. It don't do the mistake. It responds. But if you come closer, quiet. Then you have to make its noise and you stop. You make it stop. It responds that you know which direction must I take so that I can see the green barbet.
Right here, you see there's a branch that goes horizontally. Yes. It's sitting there. Give me your function.
Yeah, okay.
You can see it?
It's a lifer. For me, it's a lifer.
That's good. Yeah, horizontal path.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can get him on that. Yeah.
You won't find this bird anywhere else in South Africa. It's one of Ngoya's specials. The guides have delivered.
The greater government.
England, Britain, Cape Town, Joburg, they come to Zululand because of this green barbet.
In Afrikaans, groen houtkapper.
Woodward, he was the missionary, and then he came here in Zululand. He was also a bird watcher. Then while he was birding around this Ngoya forest, he discovered that there's a bird that he hasn't seen anywhere else in the world. And it, as you know, it used to be called the Woodward barbet, and then it was also named after him because he was the one who discovered it.
More and more there's becoming a confidence in the birding market that, hang on, these local guides actually know their patches inside out. They can add value. It's not just, using a local guide because you want to use a local guide. These guys know exactly where those birds are. The tour operators have cottoned onto it as well. If you're going to a spot, most of these commercial tour operators, the guys on, tight itineraries, these people want to see as many birds as they can, and to actually be able to arrive at a spot like Ngoya or Delinza or somewhere in Zululand, and there's a local guide who can take you straight to where the special bird is that their clients want to see. It adds a lot of value. So we're finding a lot of the tour operators now starting to use local guides. A lot of the tour operators actually starting to employ local guides. We've got quite a few guides who have come through the system, got 4 or 5 years experience, and actually getting, taking that next step to tour operator level away from local guides.
What's so special about the Zululand birding guides is that each one of them has a speciality. You get the guides that are really good in certain bird species, and you would then contract these guides in, and they would then be able to take you to these bird species, be it the green barbet in Ngoya forest, as you've seen with Sakamuzi, and other areas. Junior here at Amatikulu for the swamp nightjar, So each guide will have a speciality or an area that he specializes in and a bird that he specializes in. So they know where to find these birds, and they just add a lot of value to your trip.
It's the beginning of winter. The migrants have gone, but there are still birds at Amatikulu. These woolly-necked storks breed here.
We've actually just had a group of MBA students that Rio Tinto sponsored from London Business School to come out and actually look at the whole guide model and how do we get the guides to move from local guides to regional guides, getting a bit more of a solid career development path for the guys, because we have got I've sort of felt we've got this bit of a situation. A lot of guides could be a bit reliant on the birding route. They've been local guides for 4 or 5 years. Where to now?
The first business that I had was the beds, because I've trained as bed guide. Then the canoes, got canoes later. Then I started to compile something, mixing canoes and the beds. Sometimes if the birders coming to Matikulu, let's say they want to see the fin food. So there's this sort of networking, because if they want to see the fin food, I know the spot of the fin food. I have to take the canoe there and go to that spot and see the fin food and come back. Yes, it's Matikulu Eco Ventures. That's the name of my business.